My name is Olivier Wallet. For the last 15 years, I've been living in Namibia with cheetahs and rubbing shoulders with the main big cats in Africa. Nowadays, finding the last wild paradises means traveling to the most remote regions on this planet, far from man. I've decided to set out on a quest for the last free animals and experience one of the greatest rendezvous with nature. Kalahari Desert, 45 degrees Celsius. The starting point to an intense voyage through one of the last remaining wild worlds. With the strange feeling I am alone on this planet, but in permanent contact with raw and virgin nature. Even if it doesn't show, I'm right in the middle of a lake. It's actually one of the largest ponds in the world. It's called the Lake Makadigadi in Botswana, and this is where my journey starts. I'm going to follow the migration routes of the elephants. It is a site that should be fascinating because it's about 50,000 elephants that will gather to the north of the country alongside the Chobe River. It's a miracle of nature that happens every year. It's the biggest elephant gathering of the planet. So get ready for the ultimate close-up. So as to meet them, you need to be ready to travel deep into the most remote regions of the Okavango and to face an unpredictable and wild environment. Getting lost in these wild places is a sure way to make unexpected encounters. It also holds the promise of experiencing unforeseen events. I'm walking towards the unknown, heading north-northwest. I'm a man of the desert, and I know that nothing is ever what it seems. Indeed, these rough and arid territories are rarely devoid of life. What a good surprise to encounter here a small colony of meerkats. These little friends I really love, because I believe they really behave like us. They live in families very close one to another, with a hierarchy that allows them to survive and protect them against danger here. But there is always one that will watch around and especially on top, in order to spot any birds of prey that could take one of them. So it's early morning. They already spent about 20 minutes to warm up with the sun rising, and it's time for them to go and gather for food now. So they will spread all around here looking for scorpions and any bugs, anything that will crawl on the ground. The bigger they are, the better they like them. Nature has gifted them with incredible skills. Meerkats have very fine hearing and a well-developed sense of smell that helps them detect prey burrowed in the sand. A meerkat never gives up. It can dig as deep as 70 centimeters to catch its meal. Like all meerkats, this one learned early on to remove a scorpion stinger before eating it. I was looking for elephant tracks. Well, here they are. Absolutely everywhere. But they go in all directions. Well, in any case, I keep heading north. As if the sun was not enough, now the wind comes in and dries everything around. Not a drop of water left. Even in these holes dug by the elephants to take their mud bath. Well, there is no chance to meet any elephants around. Because of climate change, this year the dry season is lasting much longer than usual, which has dramatic consequences for wildlife. It might look a bit strange to have set up a camp here, but the hugeness of this elephant skeleton was fascinating and I've decided to spend the night here. Looking at the size of each bone and knowing that just one tooth can weigh a few kilos, you can easily imagine the heaviness and the power of such an animal. You can be powerful and nonetheless vulnerable. Some elephants, worn out and parched from their long journey, will never make it to the banks of the Chobe River to meet with their kin. I've been walking for quite a while now under extreme heat. I just changed environment and going through now a little forest, but absolutely dry. There is no sign of water, no vegetation around. I really understand better why elephants have to go up north. And fortunately, I see signs that shows me I'm on the right tracks. It's hard to imagine this region underwater. However, it is flooded 6 months of the year. While waiting for the rainy season, life is organizing around a puddle or a dying pond. It's the first waterhole I see since I left, and at first I thought I would take a swim, but I quickly realized that this waterhole is full of hippos, and even if I make it, crocs are waiting. So I think I'm gonna skip the idea. It might be a late one. So it seems that not all of them have migrated to the north yet. This female elephant's progress is slowed down by their newborn babies. This water spot is a godsend. Soil is a precious element for these mastodons. It provides them with the minerals they need for their well-being. Mud baths are essential to their health. Drying mud forms a solid shell that destroys the parasites that live on their skin. It also helps elephants stay cool. When the mud evaporates, it plays a role similar to sweat. During the dry season, this area has very limited resources to offer. Elephants can spend up to 20 hours a day walking to find the 170 kilos of food they need daily. They often have to make do with roots, especially when they have used up their task scratching trees, just like this one has. I'm getting close to the Okavango Delta, and the best way to explore it is to get a mokoro. It's the traditional pirogue that the fishermen use in the region. And I should be able to find one in this village. Hi, everyone. Hello. Hi, Oliver is my name.
It is.
Dumela. Very good, thank you. Hello, Omar. How are you? Thank you. So I need a mokoro. Maybe can I talk to your chief?
Yeah, I can talk to the chief.
Where is your chief?
My chiefs.
Is he there?
Yeah.
Can you take me there?
Yeah.
Take me.
Yeah.
Okay. It's okay. First of all, thank you very much for the mokoro. I'll be able to carry on my adventure now, and I hope to see many wild animals, and I'm gonna sleep outside in the bush. You probably have good advice to give me to survive.
If you see an elephant close to you, if you feel fear and you start running, he's going to smash you. Let's say you're sleeping here. You see some elephants, but if you don't move, they'll go away. They won't do anything to you. It's difficult if you have never used a mokoro before. It's hard to go straight. You're going to zigzag. If you do like this, the mokoro is going that way. You've got to experience it.
Between Namibia and Zimbabwe, the delta of the Okavango stretches out over 15,000 square kilometers. It's a true miracle of nature. I've reached the river Boro. It is surrounded by a network of flooded plains in which lechwe antelopes are grazing. I'm venturing as best as I can, deeper into an intricate succession of canals teeming with Nile crocodiles. And I am not the best at navigating a mokoro. Now, I understand Madala's warning better. I really want to go straight. I guess first I must relax. When you look at the guys driving this mokoro, these pirogues from here, it seems to be very easy. But you have to make one with your boat. Well, I'm not there yet. So. Okay. So let me concentrate myself and try to be as good as these fishermen are. I really need to make one with the pirogue and use my balance to go where I want to go. Wow. That's really not the most stable means of transport I have experienced. Fortunately, the fishermen gave me some good advice and also how to avoid potential dangers. But they look so graceful when you see them on the river. I guess it's because they do that since their youngest age. Anyway, I have no choice. That's the best way to explore the delta. Yeah, I think I've got it now. This part of the trip is a true labyrinth, consisting of aquatic prairies and islands made of reeds or giant papyrus. This swamp maze is hard to access most of the year, and it shelters a large variety of species. North of the delta, the river Boro flows into the meanders of the Okavango River. At the end of its course, it dissolves into the Kalahari Desert and will never make it to the sea. It's a large family of elephants with several young and a baby. I have to approach them differently here because I'm on the water, so I'd better keep my distance. I don't think they've smelled me or seen me yet. Moving silently with my pirogue helps. So I'm pretty sure that's the dominant male here. It just went on his own and split from the rest of the group. They are the one you really have to watch out, because they tend to be a bit more tense than the others. But being on the water makes me very silent, and everything looks fine. I'm really close, so I don't want to take any risks. Maybe I should stay back a bit. In the end, he did not see me as a threat. I was lucky this time. During the dry season, temperatures reach 40 degrees Celsius. Additionally, the atmosphere becomes very damp from the evaporation of the swamps. Wow, that looks like the ideal spot. There are no animals around. The water is shallow. I think that's perfect to have a swim. But I'm still gonna secure my pirogue. That's the only transport I have. I really don't want to lose it. I'm even gonna treat myself with a little glass of Okavango. There is no risk, as it comes from the mountains in Angola and has been naturally filtered through the vegetation around. So it's perfectly good like that. A few elephants have settled down around these precious water spots. They are sending out a clear message. This is their home. More than 500 bird species share this remote piece of paradise. Among them, these bee-eaters have no problem finding food. So I just stopped earlier on the side of the river. I found a wet spot under a tree and I managed to find some little worm. So I guess to be able to catch my dinner for tonight. Most of the birds here are actually fishing birds, which means that I have a good chance to catch something. I feel something. Yes. I expected it a little bigger. So I guess I'm gonna have to fish the whole afternoon if I really want to feed myself properly. So it's probably one of the wildest fishing sessions I ever made in my life, because I'm surrounded by hippos and crocs, elephants. It's really exciting. Wow, I think it's something much bigger now. Here is the catch I hoped for. It's just about to be enough for me tonight. So now I can hit the river again. Yes. These marabou storks are taking advantage of the hot and permanent thermal currents to glide and detect prey. At this time of year, when the heat wave affects the great mammals, carcasses abound. Fish are also an easy catch in the swamps that are running dry. Marabou store colonies can hold from 20 to several thousands of individuals. For 4 months, parents take turns feeding their young, who will reach adulthood only at the age of 3 or 4 years. There's a phenomenal atmosphere here. I'm so far away from civilization and I keep making the most unexpected of encounters. As a matter of fact, I just ran into this marabou's village. A whole colony of them settled here, right next to their pantry. A choice spot on the Okavango. Before settling down away from the canal and trees, I checked there were no signs of leopards around. Hidden up in the trees, this is an unpredictable and potentially dangerous big cat.
When you go to
If
fire,
you build a fire,
lion comes in.
lions will never come close.
They are not mad.
But you might have a problem with hyenas. Hyenas can be a problem. Yeah.
At nightfall, perfumes, noise and rustling sounds take on incredible proportions. I'm keeping my ears wide open. Madala wasn't mistaken. A hyena invited itself in to try and snatch some leftovers. You mustn't leave anything lying around. Never forget your shoes outside the tent, especially if they are damp and odorant. Hyenas like to hoard this kind of gift deep down in their burrow. I'm resuming my journey to the north, towards the immense Savuti plains. Vultures. They're certainly here for good reasons. Must be a dead animal somewhere. Oh, there it is. It's an elephant carcass. So I'm gonna get closer, but I better be cautious. It might still be some predators around. Unfortunately, that's the sad reality of nature. On this big migration route, not all of them will get to the final destination. I don't have much to fear from those lionesses. They are already busy, defending their territory against their worst enemy, a hyena. The hyenas have created a diversion to draw the large big cats away from their burrow. A mother hyena with her two puppies. They are still cute at that age. I'm sure it's their first steps out of the den. Unfortunately, one of those two might not make it to adulthood, because the little brother and sister are now competing to get enough milk every day. In this type of situation, the mother will let the laws of nature decide. Even though this might seem cruel, it's the only way to ensure things run smoothly in this wild paradise. This vast deserted bush hosts other giants. Immobile, arms raised, they seem to be imploring the skies. The trunks of these baobabs can reach 20 meters in diameter. However, the ancient baobabs, that can be thousands of years old, suffer from another disease. This tree called Tree of Life is an elephant's treat. Its fibers are antibacterial and the pulp of its fruit offers twice as much calcium as milk does. Here we clearly see the damages that elephant can cause. And there, the marks of their tusks they use to pull the fiber they eat. But it seems they know where to stop, as if they would give a baobab a chance to heal. One more time, a proof that nature is perfectly balanced. These recent scars confirm that I'm indeed following one of the elephant's migration paths. The immense Savuti plain used to be totally flooded, forming a vast inside sea. Over the years, it has dried out to become the arid savanna it is now. 3 years ago, the Savuti, the lost river, started flowing again miraculously after running dry for 30 years. But it wasn't enough to reanimate these grounds where most of the trees have died. Nothing escapes a well-hidden leopard's attention. Luckily, he prefers the black of night to attack. This newborn cannot be older than 10 days. He's an easy prey for the big cats. But his mother watches over him constantly. He has nothing to fear, sheltered by his whole family. Elephants know how to erect impenetrable protection barriers. a nice show of finesse and solidarity for this family who proceeds on its way to Chobe. I'm seeing more and more elephants. I'm nearing my goal. I just have to cross the Savuti plain, which is part of the Chobe National Park. And this morning, I was incredibly lucky to meet a pack of African wild dogs. They have been almost exterminated. The largest remaining population is here, in Botswana. In Savuti, the competition between predators is really fierce. But this family of wild dogs managed to establish their territory on the other side of the plains when there are no lions. This is a very rare sight because that species is highly endangered. A small part of the Savuti Plains bordering Chobe remains underwater all year round. The migrating troops delight in being here, as well as the herons and frantic spoonbills foraging around for water insects. I've made it. I've reached the Great Migration crossroads. Here in this plain of Savuti, elephants are coming from all directions, north, south, east, west. Their herds are getting bigger and bigger. The gathering is taking place slowly in this strategic area here in the middle of their migration route. Amazing sight. During this season, scarcity of food forces elephants to sleep only 4 hours a day. Led by its matriarch, each group has used up their pads on the scorching hot trails that brought them here. These giants can swallow up to 200 kilos of food and drink 100 liters per day. Here they will be able to enjoy a few moments respite and rehydrate. So I better get going. and not lost the track. The cluster of elephants from the south of Botswana have traveled as far as 1,000 kilometers to make a stop here, before eventually reaching the Chobe River. These mastodons are too busy recovering strength to care about my presence. This year, right by the river Chobe itself, the waterholes and canals have dried up. An exceptional and alarming drought in a world that suffers from the vagaries of climate change. This is it. I've reached my ultimate goal. After all I've been through, I feel happy like a bush boy. I have at last arrived on Chobe River, this giant's meeting point, but also a natural border between two wild paradises, Botswana and Namibia, which is just on the other side of the river. The heat wave has reached a new record high, 47 degrees in the shade. I'm going to stop here in the shade. I'm quite hidden, and it seems to be the perfect spot to observe the elephants coming. It's the hottest hour of the day, and they should soon come out of the forest to drink from the river. So now it's just a matter of patience. They are the last descendants of a species that has been traveling through part of southern Africa for thousands of years to gather on the banks of the Chobe River. Botswana, elephants enjoy the largest wild habitat in Africa. 200,000 individuals share 25,000 square kilometers of space. There are approximately 500,000 elephants left in Africa. For more than 1 million in 1980. Only 100 years ago, they were 10 millions. So close to the goal, but some of them will never reach it. This morning, the elephants lost one of their kin and are paying him a last tribute. They are trunk up in the air, showing resignation, rage, and distrust. We know now that they are capable of feeling emotions. This moment of contemplation is troubling and very moving. This territory, still incredibly intact, is one of the most beautiful wild paradises on Earth. But for how long will it still be possible to witness the great elephant gathering? The species is under threat of disappearing. It is said that about 50 elephants are killed every day by poachers in Africa. Ivory trafficking has tripled in the last 15 years. It's an ever-growing business. Generations and generations of elephants have been weaving through these grounds. An estimated 30 to 50,000 individuals meet yearly in Chobe. The majestic procession of elephants from Namibia, Angola, and Zimbabwe takes place every year between the months of October and November. Will our children and grandchildren still be able to enjoy this show? The north of Botswana is their ultimate sanctuary. If no strict and efficient policy is implemented on a worldwide scale, they will become extinct. I resume my journey towards other remote lands, searching for the last free animals and wild paradises.